Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Silk will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then. But watch your footing. Ground is still wet and like to be slippery. New zone. Last one of the expansion. So we gotta search for these again. Oh, hi guys. Playing with the leech, Ishtala? Hello, goodbye. What are we looking for? Uppies. Go up. Thank you. Hi. No, wait, come back. Said come back. Use the other right. And now we can come back here whenever the hell we want. Finless ones. They followed me. Have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Kind of. Sort of. A little bit. So this is where they were on to make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that may conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. What are we to do? Series of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through this glimmer of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? That would be a no. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. Said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emetzel's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? We cannot dismiss the possibility, but If these Rondo refuse to speak with us... Makon, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? I planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? The chieftain fell didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. This plain our all too dramatic arrival has thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve each such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell chores. But very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I have nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. Cannot say for certain, but since this tribe has a deeper connection to the oceans that first meets the eye, it warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. Allies, 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 allies. Then it is settled. Yustola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Nakon, you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Pa Shawan, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. Waited, and you did not come. And then the Mishtel came, but his visits did not continue. Truly sorry, Pa Shawan. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps. Where the dry return, a cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. Now there is no water. We run, and they scuttle close behind, snapping and snipping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Orkun? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. That it does. Okay, how do I get to it? Under the sea. Under the sea. Honestly surprised everything isn't more like blobby. We did take away all the water, and therefore pretty much all the pressure. Let's go beat up some crabs. What's up? How you doing? 2. One more. And dead. Ah, that DSL. Okay, Mel. Okay. Okay, Posh. What's up? You could crack their shells? You must be stronger than you look. So you've reached your quota first again. You shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Posh Swan. This was to be part of my apology, do you remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. But I convinced you to tell us something about your village instead. I'd very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, till they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were. Long had they stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from thus did they discern the truth. The ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, and this great vanishing of water, was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. Truly astonishing history, yet I can't help but wonder, how the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided. The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. Thank you for the lesson, Posh One. We will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only, do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. Yep, that spawned a whole bunch of side quests. Side quest central. Ah, Archon. Have you learned aught of note? Fascinating. Precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Yeah, I'll help you out just as soon as I do, like, 50 bajillion quests to pick up. Well, if it is not a finless one, spare a moment for a frail ath, honored guest, if you would. Beyond are the caretakers of these and other ancient ruins. Ours is a dangerous slot, for there are many creatures of the sea that would drive us from this place and take up residence in our stead. Thus we must clad ourselves in armor to shield our bodies from their blows. The scales of the Amphisbane are one such material we use to fashion our equipment. Slay one and bring me its scales, that I might help our young Cole live to see the morrow. They are opportunistic predators, preferring to remain concealed until they sense the presence of potential prey. Use this crab meat to lure one out of hiding, and then befuddle its senses with this shimmering orb. Hail, finless one, and welcome to the Cups. Long have I wanted to converse with one of your kind. I am called Narosh Cole. How may I address you? Archon Shade. Curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I would show to you. Let us leave behind the Cups and head due west. Come. Help me, finless one. Help me. The people and their baffling ways have me at a complete and utter loss. A friend of mine, Pashwan, wishes to engage and trade with finless ones. Grain for shellfish, a simple exchange, certain to profit both parties. However, a sack which my son proceeded to collect from the shore was filled not with grain but with gravel. He felt so betrayed, and now refuses to treat with finless ones altogether, so distrusting he is of each and every one. But it makes no sense to me. What would finless ones gain from this skullduggery? Or was there a misunderstanding? Can your kind eat gravel as easily as grain? No, I thought not. But then why did the finless youth give my friend gravel instead of the promised grain? It makes no sense. You go and look for speak with the Mista woman with whom we brokered the deal. She is Moshamo, of right. I would like very much to hear her explanation. Perhaps it is a mere misunderstanding, but until I know more, it is difficult to know what to think. So you want me to go to the surface? That's gonna wait. And this one. Is it true that on the shore your people treat your food with fire to make it last longer? I thought so. You see, ever since the waters withdrew, our foodstuffs have been more prone to rot and decay. Something about exposure to the air, I suspect. With this in mind, we thought we might try to mimic your fire-assisted methods. We prepared a cook pot, which was cast into the sea, but despite our efforts to replicate your techniques, the result was quite disappointing. As a finless one, surely you are more capable of making this so-called stew. If you might take this trilobite meat and place it into the cook pot as we observe, it would be most educational. The others are gathered atop the rise to the east. You will forgive me for keeping my distance. I have yet to grow accustomed to the heat of the flames. Finnish one. How am I to glide through the waters without waters, or seek out that which I crave? I cannot. What do I crave, you wonder? teach, the teach of merriest beasts. Find for me feisty beasts with good teeth. Smack them about until they're good and weak, and then bind them with this rope and bring them to me. Let me shink, a Minyeri, a Hrothgar, and a deep sea leech. Bring me one of each, alive, and mind the teach. In this one, honored guest, a moment of your time. We seek the wisdom of you and your people. In the water, there are many ways in which we Ondo may communicate with one another without relying on speech. Or, in this new environment of ours, our options are somewhat more restricted. I call wish to learn other techniques, but I have limited knowledge of such things. Might you speak with this child and demonstrate for him your methods? I'll think about it. Tell me, Finless One, have you seen a shifty-eyed Ondo lurking about? As have I, as have others. The Cups is home to a small community, and strangers do not go unnoticed. I can but assume that one of those lawless outsiders is attempting to pass as one of us. I cannot go about and search on account of my duties here, but if you could conduct an investigation in my stead, I would be most grateful. I suggest you begin by speaking with the guard at the southern entrance. Yeah, be with you in a minute. Gemstone trader. Okay, the cook pot. Let's place the trilobite meat in the cook pot. Deposit the meat in the bubbling broth. All that remains is to wait. The makeshift stew appears to have been cooked long enough. Whether or not it will meet with the Ondo's approval, however, remains to be seen. Is the stew ready, Finless One? Ah, so hot it is, like the boiling currents near the deep water vents. But it must be this hot, else the meat will spoil, yes? I see. So fearful the heat were we that we did not consider cooking it longer, but now we know. Thank you for teaching us, Finless One. Take with you a portion of the stew back to Push On so he may savor the taste for himself. We tried to cook something, but we didn't try cooking it for very long, and then we were wondering why cooking it didn't work. We basically made sushi and then complained that it was sushi. Greetings, honored guest. Could you perchance lend old Ondo a hand with a troublesome hunt? Dragons pose a threat to the young and infirm, for they disguise themselves as rock and ambush their prey to feed. It must be cold for the good of all. But I alone cannot see this done. Therefore, I would ask you to help me in slaying the meddlesome pests. A trio will suffice. Come and see me when you have finished. So strange it is to see finless ones in a realm. But since you're here, perhaps you can offer us aid? The spearfisher of ours has been away for some time. Too long by half. Fear he may be struggling in this newly waterless world of ours. You, however, thrive in such environments. If he is injured or worse, then I should be grateful if you could go and render aid. Forgive me the sudden request, but I must ask that you search for him north of the Norvrent slope. Yeah, sure. See the portal high above? 'Tis the work of the ancients, like many structures scattered without, that we Ondo have since made our own. Alas, in the absence of flowing waters, I cannot reach my home as easily as before. If only I had a device or tool to aid in climbing up and down. The bones of a great sea beast might be useful to send. Such creatures are not wont to linger in a single place and are difficult to track. But they have been sighted not far from the cups on occasion. As a Cole, I have no chance of defeating these creatures, but you are not hampered by the lack of water. There's a trench to the northwest from which they sometimes emerge. Will you go and slay one of these beasts for their bones? Help me make a ladder out of animal bones. Got it. No, please stay back. Spare me, O Finless One, from your ruthless mastications. I'm too young to be eaten. What? Oh, you do not wish to eat me? That is well. I may have drawn premature conclusions, but as this is the first time I've met one of your kind, it is a somewhat terrifying experience. But now that we have established a rapport, perhaps you would be so kind as to enlighten me somewhat? Tell me of your ways and preferences. Trade is integral to cordial relations, after all. Surely you've noticed that there are many sunken ships in this region, many of which undoubtedly contain items of value. I ask you search these wrecks and return with said items, that I might have a better understanding of what it is and what is I and others should scavenge. Greetings, Finless One, and thank you. Others may be distressed by the change you have wrought, but I consider this to be the opportunity of a lifetime, an opportunity to savor the fruits of the land. Quite literally, in fact, for I wish to make oranges. So delicious are the ones we have purchased from traders, full of surprisingly sour sweetness. I kept the seeds of the one I supped upon, and know that now that the sea has been parted, I can at last try my hand on agricultural endeavors, or I would if I knew aught of it. What exactly is agriculture, anyway? So you buried the seeds in the earth, and with the aid of the sun's light it grows into a tree? Not unlike kelp, then. Well, we certainly do not want for earth here, that much I can say. We don't need a substitute for the sun's light, though. Fortunately, I already have something in mind. Come with me and see for yourself. It's not far. Due east of the cups. Come, come.